Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. This is the Kershaw Thistle. Very nice little budget knife here. Let's go ahead and go right into some size comparisons. Here is your standard Para 3 size comparison and your PM2, or in this case the Super Freak, since it's the same size. And let's go ahead and look at the Benchmade Bugout. How about the CJRB Feldspar? CJRB Rhea, CJRB Centros. How about your Bestech Texel? Your Civivi Elementum. And of course your Spyderco Tenacious. And we'll get back to that Tenacious later. So let's go ahead and talk about this knife. This is a really, really interesting knife by Kershaw. And let's start out by talking about the absolute best thing about it. This thing is like 12 or 13 bucks, depending on where you buy it from. It is dirt cheap for a knife. This thing is fantastically cheap. Anyone can get one, which means everyone should get one. And I'll tell you why. Let's go ahead and talk about the knife a little bit some more. So first of all, the ergonomics on this are excellent. They really feel good. They lock your hand in. I have size large gloved hands, and you really feel nice and locked in on this. In addition, you have a really nice sheep's foot blade here. It doesn't have a ton of curve on it, but it reminds me a lot. You know, I just got this XM24 here. It reminds me a lot of the blade on the XM24 as far as the blade shape. And this is a very popular blade shape for the XM24. This is an excellent blade shape here. Also, the blade stock here, really thin. Let's go ahead and take a look at it against another really thin knife. So the normal Civivi Elementum is pretty thin to begin with. This is the S35VN one, which is even thinner. And you can see that it's basically the same stock, maybe a little bit thinner than the Civivi Elementum. Very, very impressed by that. On top of that, this thing has a hollow grind. And so when you have a hollow grind with that thin of stock, what you get out of that is a really, really nice slicing knife. Very, very nice. So I do have to commend Kershaw on that. So another thing is it has full steel liners here. Those steel liners give it a nice rigid feel. It feels just as sturdy as, you know, any other Ontario Rats or anything like that you're going to get. Maybe not quite as, you know, something that you can throw anything at, but pretty close. So I have to say, for again, that 12 or 13 bucks, pretty impressed with it. The pocket clip is reversible, reversible tip-up carry, and it is deep carry. It is not tip-down carry, but you can deep carry it, right or left-hand carry, and you got the deep carry clip. So that's another plus. Another plus is Kershaw usually brands the hell out of their clips. This is nice. You know, black all the way through, doesn't scream Kershaw at you, so I think that's nice as well. Also, it has sort of an interesting lock here. Basically, this is a liner lock, as you can see in here, but it uses this button to actuate the liner lock. There's no actual finger access here. So you actuate the liner lock, you can see that happening there. Very cool, you know, concept, and then you close the knife. So I tend to like that a lot. It actually creates a very interesting action because I think this is actually a design flaw, but it ended up being a design plus for me because it sort of gives this interesting action where you push this to close it and then it hits here because it gets caught on the you know, the flap that comes over, and then it closes. But it gives you sort of this, you know, multifaceted locking that sort of reminds me on how a butterfly knife hits, where, you know, you're getting multiple hits when it opens or closes. I really like that. So never had it get stuck like that before, but of course it happens on camera. But yeah, you can see that sort of action here. I can see some people might think that's annoying, but I think it's cool when I fidget with it. It sort of gives it an interesting, you know, an interesting feel, something that's a little bit different. So I think that's pretty cool. As far as negatives on this knife, a couple of them. One is, you know, you have that china there. Not that you know, I don't like knives from China because obviously you saw the CJRBs I have here, which are also from China. But, you know, it sort of says it right into the handle scale. You know, it is what it is. But I like to see stuff made from, you know, my country. Nothing against China specifically, just the U.S. is my country. Now, as far as the handles here, I don't like the fact that they have all these Ks in the handle. I know that stands for Kershaw, but I just think it's tacky. I understand this is a $13 knife, but come on, kind of tacky. The pivot's nothing special. The hardware here is T6, but again, for 12 or 13 bucks, you can't really complain too much. The steel on it is 8CR13 MOV. That's okay, you know, for 12 or 13 bucks, it's okay. I can live with it. I'm not a big, you know, 8CR fan, but for 12 or 13 bucks, you really can't complain too much about that. One thing about the action, you saw earlier that, you know, when this came down the wrong way, this can get stuck. The button is depressed right here. So that sort of is a design flaw on it. But, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't really, as long as you know, as long as you pay attention, you should be okay with that. Because you can always just pull the blade back up to release that. But it is something that you should just be aware of. So other than that, I think that, you know, this is a pretty nice knife. Everyone can go out and get one. It's not too expensive, and it does its job. The edge on it that it came with, I have to say Kershaw does not put the best edge on their knives from China. The knives from the US made knives actually usually have a better edge on them. But the ones that come from China, especially the ones that are made from 8CR, never seem to have the best edge on them. But, you know, 8CR13 MOV, one of the benefits of it is it's really easy to sharpen, so that's not a huge deal. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, and go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know what you think, if you've had one of these, and if you like it as much as I do for being as cheap as it is. Thanks so much.